Hi, in this lesson we shall be looking at the Python operators. So I'm going to head on to create another file called lesson2 lessons dot lessons2.py no py. Alright, so we are looking at only comment and then write it as heading Python operators. So we have Python operators and we have types of Python operators. And we're going to be looking at number one types of Python operators, which is the arithmetic Python operators. We also have number two, comparison operators. We have assignment operators. We have logical So we have logical operators. So we're going to be looking at these four. These are the four most important types of operators that we have. So let's quickly look at the number one, arithmetic. Arithmetic has to do with some of these mathematical operators like plus, subtraction, division, multiplication. Yeah, we use asterisk in programming to denote multiplication. We have exponential. Exponential is raised to the power of a number. We have modulus. Modulus is remainder. Then the remainder power we have in mathematics. So you can say etc. And I'm going to be using it to solve some real life issues. And you're going to see how it works very fine. Then comparison operators are operators that gives comparison, like less than, greater than, like less than or equal to, greater than, equal to. We have equal to operator. We have not equal to operators. And I can say EDC. So this is a powerful operator because it gives comparison between two or more conditions, especially when I say something like if this is greater than this should happen. So this operator sets such conditions for a powerful work. So the next we're going to be looking in examples is assignment. Assignment operators, we have this. We have used this one several times in our works. So we have assignment operators, which is this first one. We also have assignment operators plus assignment, division assignment, multiplication assignment, assignment. We have addition assignment, which I've done that. We have modulus assignment, which you have subtraction assignments. So I can say etc. So we have many of it. So let's go down to the logical. Logical is setting multiple conditions in a variable. We have three powerful logical operators here, which is not. We have and we have or. So these powerful operators set very big conditions in a larger way. So you get to find how those conditions work in real life very soon. The next we're going to do, or we're going to learn, is what we call the conditional statement. Conditional statement. But before we go into conditional statement, let's do some expressions with operators that we have here. First of all, I'm going to use the arithmetic operators to do some mathematical calculations here. I can just say, okay, let x have a value of 12. Now, this, we don't call it equal to, but we call it assignment. This thing that looks like equal to in normal mathematics, in programming, we call it assignment. The reason is because this is what is assigning the value 12 to x here. So value of 12 is assigned to x, which is the assignment operator we have here. So it's so powerful to have that. And I can say y is 100. So we have these two, x and y. So if I want to make some kind of mathematical expression or to have the two combined together, I can say, let me say sum. Let's say I'm finding the sum of the two numbers. But I'm going to say x plus y, and then I will output sum. So I'm going to push out sum. Nope. Push out sum this way. So if you print here, you're going to see the calculation being given here. This is so powerful. Now you discover that we are merging three important things we have learned together. Number one, we are using the variable to store these values, and we are also using the power of the operator to make expressions, and then we are also using the print function to output our work. So we have all that we have learned so far working in this regard. So this is how we make expressions in programming. As a matter of fact, I can say let me say use value as a variable that will store this expression. We're going to say x is greater than y. So it's going to return if x is greater than y. I'm going to see is an argumentative statement. So it's going to return either true or false for us. Let's check what it's going to give us. I'm going to say it should print value for us. So I'm going to check if we actually saying the truth. So let's check our terminal. It's saying false. Why? Because x is not greater than y. But if I say here that value operator is saying y or x is less than y, it's going to print true because the condition is true. So we are printing value and condition is true. Why? Because x has been seen to be less than y. this is a powerful expression to make. So we just use arithmetic operators, use comparison operators, and using assignment operators. Let's use the logical operators to make larger conditions. So logical operators combines multiple conditions to make some sets of conditions or a strict conditions. So I'm going to say, let me see, logic operators as a variable name, and then I'm going to say x is less or equal to y. So I'm going to say and here y is greater or equal to x. So we are making hash statement here, and then you're going to print for us x, our logic. So it's printing logic. Let's see if it's true or false, because you say the expression says x is less or equal to y, and y is greater or equal to x, which is true. True or false? Absolutely, you're going to know the answer even without this. So it's true because x is less or equal to y, and y is greater or equal to x. So I'm going to have this expression here and then twist it a little for us to understand something here. So I'm going to say here x is less, y is less than this. So we're going to print logic for us. What is it going to print for us? True or false? Because x is less or equal to y, and y is less or equal to x. So what is going to print for us? Well, looking at it, we will know the answer right now. It's going to print false. Why is it false? Because of the power, because this renders the entire conditions to be false. You can also look into this with the understanding of your mathematics conditions where positive, negative is negative. Positive, positive renders positive. So we have this expression here to be positive, positive. So it's rendering true for us. So until the AND logical operator sees that there is positive, positive, there's not going to be a true. So it's looking for where every of it is positive, positive, or negative, negative to render true. So we're having negative, positive here, and negative is having the precedence because of the conditions. And means every of the two side expressions must be true. If it's not true, it renders false. So the power of AND is so powerful. Just take, for example, I said, let's Vic and Mark do the job. It means that Vic and Mark must be the ones to do the job. It's not going to exempt Vic out of the work. It's not going to exempt Mark out of the work. They both must do the work. So that is the power of the logical operator called AND. So you're going to see how your phone validation is. Let's say, for example, you're trying to sign up in a particular, just to register for a particular thing or to sign up into a platform, and then they are telling you like password and password do not match, or password 1 and password 2 do not match. Perhaps you made a mistake. So what they are saying is that the first password you imputed must be the same with the second password. And the AND condition that is there, if it's not rendering, if it's not saying that the two conditions are the same, it's going to render false and keep telling you the password do not match. So this is how powerful and how you can apply this to real life project. All right. So the next thing is to look into the next logical operator called OR. OR means either of it should be true. So the condition for positive, negative is not so strong, but it's finding if either of it is true. Then let's print logic again. We are going to say, let me put logic, we're going to say store in the variable x is less or equal to y, or y is less or equal to z or x. So this expression is the same with this one here, but let's see if it will render the same results. So we're going to print logic for us. So looking into logic, okay, and then is printing true. Why is this true? Because either of these conditions seems to be true. It's taking, for example, again, we have Mark, we have Vic, or Mark should do the job. It means the condition states that either of the two can do the job. So Victor can finish the work, or Mark can finish the work without Victor. So either of the two guys can do the job. So that's the power of the all logical operators in that place. It is so powerful. Not operator is not, like something is not. So I'm going to see logic again. Logic again, where I'm going to say in bracket x is less than y. So I'm going to pass x is not less than y. So I'm going to pass not here. X is not less than y. So let's check out what the result will be. It's rendering false here. Why? Because x is not less than y. So what that statement means is that x is greater than y, and which is so false. So if I bring this guy to the next line here, and then x is not greater than y, the expression is going to render true because x is not greater than y. So x is not greater than y. So let's check out. See that is true. X is not greater than y. That's fine. The next we're going to learn is what we call string concatenation and manipulation. String concatenation and manipulation. Now, let's take a recap. From what you have learned so far, you have learned logical as a variable name, and then use passing assignment that stores the value or the expression. So a variable can store values and it can store expressions. So variable is seen as a container that stores not just values but expressions of values as well. And then we have seen how you can output your data using the print function, and also we have here these data types, and this type of data types is called a number data types, and the type of number data types here is called the integer, the whole number data types. So we have different data types. We have the string, but we've been working with the whole number. So I'm going to use string manipulation. String manipulation and concatenation. The word concatenation means you are joining two things together. Just like, let's say, for example, we have x and y variable up there. So I'm going to say here, let me say concat as a variable name, and then I'm passing, I say x plus y, simple expression this way. And then I want to make this to look so beautiful. I can say let's z pass something. Here I'm going to pass a string here and write some statement for clarity. You can say this is the sum total of the two numbers. So numbers. So I'm going to put a colon here and then give a space, or here where I can say concat. Now it's throwing error because we are concatenating, and concatenation must be in a form of joining. This number variable and this string variable must find something that will join them together, and that is what we call concatenation. So I'm going to use what we call the comma concatenation to join these two together. So I'm going to print right now. I'm printing what? Z. So when you open this, you're going to see that this is the sum total of the two numbers. 1, 1, 2. That's beautiful. We joined this with this one. I can also, instead of having this Z here, I can just pass this particular stuff directly, or let me just copy it down here and print something else. I can just say I'm printing this in it. So I don't get to create another variable here, but I'll just pass it directly and then it will print. Let me make a difference here. Here I can say this is the sum total of the two numbers, and then two numbers where the value is being expressed. Let me do my word wrap. Expressed to be the expression of the two numbers. So let's print the two, and then you're going to have this is the sum total of the two numbers where the value is being expressed to be 1 or 2. So this is what we call concatenation. Now we have another type of concatenation that you can give. Let's still work with this concat here and then do more things. So I'm going to print again to show another type of concatenation. So I'm going to pass into it this stuff here. It's called the plus concatenation. Plus concatenation is expressed this way by writing plus in this regard. So this plus is joining these two together. Now let's do something together and see. Let's run this and see what is going to print for us. You see that it's throwing error here, and then the error is saying can only concatenate string, not integer, to string. So one of the law is that you don't join a string and a number together without converting the number to a string or a number string. So it's having some conflicts here because this is an integer. An integer is a number, and then you are concatenating, and then we are concatenating a string to number. So there's no relationship directly. So what this comma does was that it ended up converting this concat number into string numbers to be able to concatenate it. So that is one of the advantages of using directly the comma concatenation. But using the plus concatenation, you must have to convert this to a string. So how do we do the conversion? I can come here and pass a string function str, and then I'll paste the concat inside it. So this can settle the issue right now. And then we go on and say, you see, this is the sum total of the two numbers, and then 120 is there. But we still have one challenge with the plus concatenation, is that it's not giving a free space just like this one was giving, just like this one gave a free space here. So we are going to give a space by adding an extra space somewhere here in this string. So if I print directly now, you're going to see that there is a space. So beautiful. So these are the differences between the two concatenation we have, which is the comma concatenation and the string concatenation. Whichever one suits you is fine. And a lot of times when you're dealing with large projects that has to do with maintaining the value of a number, you don't get to convert directly this. So you can stick to perhaps using this one that ignores the value of the number without converting it to string. Yep. Another form of concatenation that we have is called the format concatenation. This type of concatenation is what we use a lot of time for string manipulation. So let's print something here again. In this regard, we're having this. So I'm going to copy all of this from here. Let me have this here. And then we have it inside this place. So this is the sum of the two numbers. And then I can go ahead to add a format function here. So I have activated the format here. So I don't need all of this here no more. So I will come here. I'll say this is the sum of the two numbers. I can just pass a curly braces here, and then I pass a concat in it. So now this is what we call the string manipulation, which is functioning as a format concatenation and also is functioning as manipulating a string. So manipulation comes when you are trying to alter some changes or adding some dynamic values inside your string. So let's print. It's going to give us exactly the same answer. Powerful. Now the next thing, I can just go ahead to continue to manipulate this string. I can say this is the sum total of the two numbers. I can say where, okay, let me bring this one and have a copy. I can say where num1 is of the value of x. So the value of x is going to pass there, and num2 is this y. So it's going to pass this. So it discovered that we have manipulated this particular string, writing in it. So it's going to write and fix it where it's meant to be. So we're going to say this is the sum total of the two numbers where num1 is 12. So you can know that the value of x is 12 and the value of y is 100, which is this one, and then you sum them together to give us this value. So I can also go directly, and then I can just maybe add a dollar sign here. Here I can say, oh, the two number is $112. So let's print and see one more time. And you see that $112. Beautiful. So this is what we call format string manipulation, which we call the string literals. So this is called Python string literal. Now, what is string literals? Ability of using the format function to manipulate your string this way to output data. So you can use this now to begin to think in your heart, in your mind, where you make a payment and then immediately a receipt is generated for you. A receipt is telling you, okay, this is the amount of transaction you have made, and this is your name and your reference code. How is he writing this in a minute? Is with the help of this type of concatenation or manipulations. So this should give you a very good insight on how to relate this guy to real life project. All right, the next type of concatenation is still the format concatenation, which I'm not going to be doing right now. So not to make this video too long, in our next lesson, we shall be looking at what we call the conditional statement. See you in the next class.